In 2025, something strange is happening in the truck world. Owners are bailing on certain models faster than ever before, and even seasoned mechanics are sounding the alarm. These aren't just random trade-ins or people chasing shiny new upgrades. No, what we're seeing is a wave of frustration that's pushing loyal truck owners to walk away from models they once swore by. And when mechanics, the people who know these machines inside and out, start warning customers to steer clear, you know there's more to the story than just high prices or a slow sales month. The truck market has always been about trust. Buyers want a machine that's strong, reliable, and built to last for years. But in 2025, several trucks are failing to live up to that promise, plagued by issues that go far deeper than cosmetics or minor annoyances. These are the trucks that have started showing their true colors: problems with reliability skyrocketing, repair bills, cheap components that don't hold up, and features that looked impressive on paper but turned into nightmares in real-world use. Dealership lots are filling up with returns. Used listings for these models are piling high online, and the resale values are dropping at alarming rates. Some of these trucks launched with hype and bold promises, only to collapse under the pressure of daily use. Others are victims of corporate cost-cutting, where corners were cut in places that matter most to owners: engine durability, transmission strength, and towing confidence. And now, the very people who fix these trucks are telling you, think twice before buying one. So today, we're diving into the 5 trucks that owners are dumping in 2025. The ones even mechanics say could drain your wallet and leave you stranded. These aren't just unpopular choices, they're cautionary tales for anyone thinking about making a purchase this year. The Nissan Titan, once billed as Nissan's bold attempt to go head-to-head with the big 3 Ford, Chevy, and Ram, the Titan has now become one of the biggest disappointments in the truck market. On paper, it looked promising: a V8 engine, decent towing capacity, and the promise of Japanese reliability. But reality told a very different story. Owners have been frustrated by its outdated design, lack of innovation, and most importantly, a resale value that absolutely tanks compared to competitors. Mechanics point out recurring transmission complaints, electrical glitches, and parts that are harder to source, since Nissan never really gave the Titan a full support network like its rivals enjoy. Combine that with higher repair costs and a shrinking dealership presence, and suddenly the Titan feels more like an orphan in the truck world. But here's the real kicker: Nissan officially announced it's phasing out the Titan entirely in North America. That means future support will be even more limited, and buyers are realizing fast that investing in a discontinued truck is a financial black hole. It's no wonder owners are dumping these onto the used market as fast as they can, hoping to cut their losses before values sink even lower. When Nissan introduced the Titan, it was supposed to be the outsider that proved it could compete with America's toughest trucks, but in 2025, the Titan is more of a cautionary tale. One of the biggest complaints owners voice is that the Titan never evolved. While Ford, Ram, and Chevy pushed out hybrid options, advanced towing tech, and constantly refreshed interiors, the Titan stayed stuck in the past. It's almost like Nissan forgot the truck existed, leaving buyers with a model that feels years behind its rivals. Mechanics also highlight a frustrating pattern with the Titan: the 9-speed automatic transmission, which has been known to suffer from jerky shifting, hesitation, and even premature failures. Repairs aren't cheap, and because Nissan hasn't sold Titans in massive volumes, parts can be harder to track down. That means longer waits in the shop and higher bills. Add in nagging electrical problems, things like infotainment freezes, backup camera failures, and random warning lights, and it starts to feel less like a dependable workhorse and more like a gamble every time you turn the key. Then there's the fuel economy problem. At a time when buyers are looking for efficiency without sacrificing power, the Titan lags behind. Its thirsty V8 burns through gas, and without a hybrid or smaller turbo option, it can't compete in today's market where every penny counts. That poor efficiency only adds insult to injury when combined with its terrible resale value, something mechanics warn customers about constantly. You might buy a Titan for a decent price, but when you go to trade it in, you're shocked at how much money you've lost. And we can't forget the looming shadow of Nissan's decision to kill the Titan altogether. With production winding down, support is going to thin out, aftermarket interest will fade, and values will keep plummeting. For owners, that means holding onto a Titan is like watching your investment sink deeper into quicksand. No wonder so many are jumping ship now. before it's too late. The second truck on this list is the Chevrolet Silverado 1500, and this one might come as a shock. For years, the Silverado has been a pillar of American truck culture, rivaling the Ford F-150 for dominance. But in 2025, a growing number of owners and, especially mechanics, are sounding off about serious concerns that are pushing people away from this once trusted nameplate. One of the biggest complaints revolves around the 2.7-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine that GM heavily promoted as a fuel-efficient alternative to traditional V8 South. On paper, it delivered solid numbers, but in practice, it's been plagued with reliability problems. Mechanics report timing chain issues, excessive oil consumption, and premature turbo failures repairs that can cost thousands of dollars and keep a truck in the shop for weeks. For buyers who expected Chevy tough, these failures feel like a betrayal. Then there's the interior and build quality. While rivals like Ram upped their game with luxury-like cabins and Ford pushed advanced tech features, Silverado owners often complain that the truck feels dated and cheaply made. Loose panels, rattles, and glitchy electronics give the impression that GM cut corners to maximize profits. And when you're dropping $50,000 or more on a truck, that kind of quality just doesn't cut it anymore. Resale value is another sore spot. Trucks usually hold value well, but used Silverado 1500s, especially those with the problematic 2.7 trillion are tanking on the market. Buyers know about the headaches, and dealers are discounting them heavily just to move inventory. That's why mechanics are telling customers, if you're thinking about buying one used, be careful because you might inherit someone else's problems. And finally, competition has left Chevy in the dust. Ford continues to dominate with the F-150 and its hybrid options, while Ram keeps winning praise for comfort and durability. Meanwhile, Chevy seems to be stuck in the middle, trying to please everyone but failing to deliver the reliability and refinement truck buyers demand. The result, more and more Silverado owners are trading in early, frustrated by problems and lured away by competitors who seem to simply get it better. For starters, mechanics have been raising red flags about the dynamic fuel management (DFM) system on GM's V8 engines. This system is designed to shut off cylinders to improve fuel economy, but in reality, it's been a nightmare. Owners complain of rough idling, strange vibrations, and in many cases, premature lifter failures that require costly engine teardowns. When a repair can easily run into the thousands, it's no surprise that owners are deciding it's safer to cut their losses and dump the truck early. The braking system has also been another sore spot. Some Silverado owners report soft, spongy brakes that feel unreliable, especially when towing. Mechanics note that the vacuum pump system in certain models has been prone to failure, a serious issue when you're hauling heavy loads and need absolute confidence in your stopping power. Then, there's the electronics mess. While GM tried to pack in modern features like a large touchscreen, driver assist systems, and digital displays, many of them are buggy. Infotainment systems freezing mid-drive, driver aids randomly disengaging, and glitchy software updates have left drivers more frustrated than impressed. For people who rely on their trucks for daily work, those problems aren't just inconvenient, they're deal breakers. And let's talk about rust and corrosion issues, especially in northern states. Silverado owners have long complained that frames and undercarriage components seem to rust out faster than Ford or Ram competitors. For a truck that's supposed to last a decade or more in tough conditions, that kind of premature wear is a huge red flag. Mechanics often warn potential buyers about checking underneath before even considering a used Silverado. Put all these factors together: weak engines, fragile fuel management systems, braking problems, glitchy electronics, and corrosion, and you've got a truck that simply isn't living up to its reputation. That's why more and more owners in 2025 are throwing in the towel and moving to competitors, even if they once swore by the Chevy Bodie. The third truck owners are bailing on in 2025 is the Ram 1500, and this one might sting a bit because the Ram has been praised for years as one of the most comfortable and stylish pickups on the road. But beneath that smooth ride and fancy interior, problems are stacking up, and they're bad enough that even mechanics are telling customers to think twice. One of the biggest headaches is the Hemi lifter and camshaft failure issue. This problem has haunted Ram for years, and in 2025, it's still a thorn in the side of owners. When the lifters fail, they often take the camshaft with them, leading to catastrophic engine repairs that can cost upwards of $8,000. Mechanics are seeing it happen earlier than expected, sometimes under 70,000 miles, which leaves owners furious, especially when they thought they were buying a long-lasting truck. The electrical system has also been a constant sore spot. Owners report everything from glitchy touchscreens and unresponsive Uconnect systems to failing sensors that throw false warnings. Mechanics often joke that the Ram's interior electronics are like a Christmas tree of lights waiting to happen. And while these issues might not leave you stranded on the side of the road, they erode confidence and rack up repair bills. Fast. Fuel economy is another big complaint. The Ram 1500 might be luxurious, but that smooth ride doesn't save you at the pump. Compared to hybrid options from Ford or even smaller turbocharged engines from competitors, the Ram guzzles fuel. At a time when gas prices are high, this is pushing owners to look elsewhere, especially if they drive long distances or use their trucks daily for work. And resale value, it's starting to slip. Once considered one of the stronger trucks for holding value, used Ram 1500s are losing ground because word is spreading about these reliability issues. Mechanics are warning their customers that while a Ram might look like a great deal upfront, the long-term cost could end up biting them hard. So despite its cushy interior and reputation for comfort, the Ram 1500 is becoming a truck that many owners are dumping before the repair bills pile to hide. The Hemi lifter and camshaft problem isn't just a random failure, it's become one of the most infamous weak spots in the truck world. Mechanics will tell you the root of the issue is poor lubrication and design flaws in the lifters, which eventually cause them to collapse or tick. Once that ticking starts, it's usually game over unless you're ready to pour thousands into a repair. Some owners have faced total engine replacements under 100,000 miles, which is unacceptable for a truck that's marketed as built to last, but the headaches don't stop there. Another point mechanics bring up is the rear differential and drivetrain reliability. Ram 1500s are known for a smooth ride thanks to their coil spring suspension setup, but the trade-off is long-term durability. Owners who tow heavy loads report premature wear in the rear end and driveshaft vibrations that require frequent shop visits. It makes the truck feel less like a tough workhorse and more like a luxury vehicle that isn't built for abuse. Speaking of luxury, the Uconnect system, which Ram advertises as one of the most advanced infotainment setups in this segment, has been a double-edged sword. While it looks great and offers tons of features, it's also one of the most failure-prone systems according to mechanics. Frozen screens, Bluetooth connection drops, navigation crashes, and random reboots are common complaints, and since so much of the truck's functionality is tied into that screen, it's more than just an annoyance, it's a core usability problem. Then there's the body and frame quality. Rust complaints are becoming more frequent, especially in states where road salt is common. Owners report bubbling paint around wheel wells, corrosion on the frame earlier than expected, and undercoating. That doesn't seem to hold up as well as Ford's or Toyota's. For people who plan to keep their trucks for 10 to 15 years, that's a serious turn off. Put all of this together: lifters failing, drivetrain struggles, electronic chaos, and corrosion issues, and the Ram 1500 starts to look like a truck that's only good as long as it's under warranty. Once those coverage years are gone, the risks of ownership go up dramatically. That's why mechanics are advising buyers to proceed with caution, and why so many owners in 2025 are dumping theirs before they get stuck with a huge repair bill. The Ford Ranger. Now, this one might surprise people, because when Ford brought the Ranger back to North America, it was marketed as the perfect midsize option: tough, capable, and more manageable than a full-size truck. But in 2025, the Ranger is developing a reputation for being more headache than helper, and mechanics are seeing plenty of them rolling into shops with recurring issues. One of the biggest culprits is the 2.3-liter EcoBoost engine. While it delivers solid power on paper, in real-world use it's been prone to carbon buildup, turbocharger failures, and cooling system problems. Mechanics say they see Rangers come in with overheating issues and coolant leaks far too often for a relatively new model. Once the turbo goes where the head gasket fails, you're staring down a repair bill that can easily run into the thousands. The 10-speed automatic transmission is another sore spot. It's the same transmission Ford uses across multiple vehicles, and while it was supposed to be advanced, it's become infamous for rough shifting, gear hunting, and even complete failures. Owners describe it as unpredictable, and mechanics warn that long-term durability isn't holding up the way it should. Beyond the powertrain, The Ranger has been dinged for its cheap interior and build quality. Compared to the Toyota Tacoma or even the Chevy Colorado, the Ranger feels dated and plasticky inside. Owners complain of rattles, squeaks, and premature wear on seats and trim. It doesn't give buyers much confidence that the truck is going to hold up after years of work or off-road use. And here's the kicker: resale values are tanking. With newer, more advanced mid-sized trucks entering the market like the redesigned Tacoma and Colorado, the Ranger losing ground fast. Used Rangers aren't commanding strong prices, especially once buyers hear about the engine and transmission headaches. Mechanics are blunt about it. Unless you're prepared for frequent shop visits, the Ranger just isn't worth it in 2025. First, let's talk more about that 2.3L EcoBoost engine. On the surface, it seemed like the perfect balance: strong torque for towing, smaller displacement for efficiency. But in practice, it's proven to be fragile. Mechanics point out frequent cases of timing belt wear since it runs in an oil bath, which can be catastrophic if not serviced properly. There are also plenty of reports of turbo lag, oil leaks around the valve cover, and head gasket failures that leave owners with blown engines far earlier than they should be. Some owners have been blindsided with engine replacements under 80,000 mithun. There's the infamous 10-speed transmission. This gearbox was designed to maximize fuel efficiency and performance, but it's ended up causing more stress than it saves. Owners describe it as confused, constantly hunting for gears or slamming into shifts. Mechanics say they've seen premature clutch pack wear, fluid leaks, and even total transmission replacements in trucks that should still be practically new. Worse yet, Ford software updates to fix the issues often only mask the symptoms rather than solving the root cause. Durability is another weakness. While competitors like the Tacoma are known for surviving abuse, the Ranger shows wear much earlier. Owners complain of suspension problems, especially with bushings and ball joints wearing out prematurely, leaving the truck feeling sloppy on the road. Rust is also starting to show up in northern climates frames and undercarriage. Components showing corrosion faster than expected, echoing concerns seen in older Ford trucks. Inside the cabin, cost cutting is obvious. Owners say the plastics scratch easily, the seats flatten out within a couple of years, and tech features feel outdated compared to rivals. The infotainment system, while serviceable, has frequent glitches: BLUETOOTH connections that drop, backup, cameras that freeze, and driver assist features that sometimes disengage without warning. Mechanics say these electronic gremlins are becoming one of the most common complaints they hear from Ranger owners. Finally, let's talk real-world ownership costs. The Ranger was supposed to be a smaller, more affordable alternative to the F-150, but with expensive repairs, mediocre fuel economy for its size, and plummeting resale values, many owners are realizing they're not actually saving money. Dealers are offering deep discounts just to move them off lots, which is a huge red flag. Put simply, the Ranger in 2025 is a truck that looks appealing at first glance, but quickly reveals itself as a liability. And that's why so many owners and mechanics are saying it's just not worth hanging on to. The fifth and final truck owners are dumping in 2025 is the Toyota Tundra, and this one is shocking, because Toyota has always had a bulletproof reputation for reliability. For decades, the Tundra was known as the no-nonsense, dependable full-size truck that might not be the flashiest, but would outlast just about anything on the road. But the latest generation has broken that tradition, and both owners and mechanics are starting to lose faith. The biggest sore spot? The switch from Toyota's legendary 5.7L V8 to the new 3.5L twin-turbo V6 iForce engine. On paper, it promised better fuel economy and more power, but in reality, it's been plagued with teething problems. Owners report turbo failures, excessive oil consumption, coolant leaks, and blown head gaskets sometimes before the truck even reaches 60,000 miles. Mechanics are frustrated because these issues are expensive to diagnose and repair, and they strike at the heart of what made Toyota special: long-term reliability. Then there's the iForce Max hybrid system, which was supposed to push Toyota into the future. Instead, it's added another layer of complexity that's proving unreliable in the real world. Owners are complaining about battery pack issues, hybrid drive failures, and software glitches that leave the truck stuck in limp mode. Mechanics point out that hybrid parts are expensive, and not every shop has the training or tools to repair them, meaning trips to the dealer at Sky High repair bills are often the only option. the interior technology has also been a letdown. While Toyota stuffed the Tundra with massive screens and advanced features, the software feels buggy and unpolished. Owners report frozen displays, backup cameras cutting out, and driver assist systems giving false alerts for a brand that once built its reputation on simple, bulletproof trucks. This push into tech-heavy territory is backfiring, and here's what really stings: resale value is falling. Tundras used to be among the strongest trucks on the used market, but the new reliability concerns are scaring buyers away. Mechanics are telling longtime Toyota loyalists that this isn't the same Tundra they grew up trusting. As a result, more and more owners are deciding to dump theirs early before problems pile up and values fall further. So, while it might be the most surprising truck on this list, the Toyota Tundra has gone from a safe bet to a risky gamble in 2025, and it's why owners are bailing out faster than anyone expected. First, let's start with the twin-turbo 3.5 LV6. Unlike Toyota's legendary 5.7 LV8, which was known for being nearly indestructible, this new engine has proven to be temperamental. Mechanics point out that the turbochargers are especially prone to failure, often due to lubrication issues. When the oil doesn't circulate properly, the turbos can seize up, leading to repair bills that can surpass $4,000. Even more concerning, some owners report intercooler condensation problems, where moisture builds up and causes misfires or even hydrolocking in extreme cases. The timing chain and tensioner setup has also been flagged by mechanics. Unlike the old V8, which rarely had timing-related issues, the V6 setup is more complex and seems to wear faster under heavy loads. For a full-size truck marketed for towing and hauling, that's a recipe for long-term reliability concerns. Moving to the iForce Max hybrid system, the idea sounded brilliant. Pair the V6 with electric power to boost torque and improve fuel economy, but in practice, owners are facing hybrid battery degradation, inverter failures, and cooling system malfunctions. The hybrid drive unit adds weight and complexity without delivering the bulletproof reliability Toyota buyers expect. And because these parts are specialized, independent mechanics often can't repair them, forcing owners into dealerships where costs skyrocket. Even the transmission hasn't escaped criticism. The 10-speed automatic, shared across multiple Toyota and Lexus models, has been reported to suffer from hard shifts, delayed engagement, and in some cases, complete failure. It's another reminder that Toyota's push to chase innovation has introduced more weak point instead of fewer. Then there's the body and structural concerns.